Hello, I'm back again. So, I'm on a roll today, guys. So, this topic on which I wish to speak is divorce. So, in Matthew 19, verse 9, again, I will paraphrase, it talks about how one should not divorce, one should not put away their wives, except for adultery. And it also explains how if you do remarry, it's like committing adultery. Okay, so I wanted to put that out there because I don't want to forget to mention Matthew 19, verse 9. And I need you guys to go and read that on your own so you can see exactly what it says because it's very important. So, again, this is a very controversial topic. And we had a Bible study with the youth at my church, like I think 3 Sabbaths ago. And the discussion arose about whether it's right or wrong to be divorced. So, again, what I'm saying is not coming necessarily from me, it's coming from the Bible, but I do have my opinions about it. So if you don't agree, you can definitely voice your opinion, but my opinion will remain my opinion. Some will agree, some will not. Okay? Okay, so the Bible, according to Matthew chapter 19, verse 9, says that one should not divorce except if the person has, slept around, to paraphrase. But if you remarry someone who has been divorced, you are committing adultery. So obviously, I do not believe in people being divorced or in people remarrying. So a lot of people at the Bible study and throughout the ages are their first question was, is that even right? And how is that possible? So the only thing I can say to that is to choose your spouse wisely. So I find a lot of people, when they're choosing a boyfriend and a girlfriend, a fiance, right? They're looking at a person's looks. They're looking at the way they feel. They're not really looking at the longevity of the relationship and whether that person will enrich their lives and whether they can get to heaven with this person. Because the individual with whom you marry has to somehow bring you from where you are today to heaven beyond that, right? So, and obviously, we all know we all have fallen short of the glory of God, so we all do sin, but that person is somehow supposed to complement you in such a way that they will aid you in your course to salvation. So, but unfortunately, what people do is they look at how they feel. That's my aunt singing. Um, how they feel, and they don't look at what the Bible says about what type of person they should be marrying, how the person, a man should be the priest of the home. So if the guy is not spiritual, there's no way that he's going to lead you to heaven. And if he's not spiritual, when you have an argument, when he does something wrong, like you can't get to him. And if you can't get to him, God has to be able to get to him for you. If he doesn't believe in God, then you're kind of like all types of messed up, right? And so spirituality is a big thing. Your upbringing is something else. Sometimes people don't look at how a person is brought up. Like if you're brought up in a strict household and propriety was important, how one sits at the table is important, how one dresses is important, how people speaks, whether you curse or not, like those kind of things, whether a guy opens a door for you, these things do add strain to the relationship. And if you're brought up one way and the person is brought up another way, then you're going to clash at some point. So people don't look at that. They just look at how they feel. Another thing that's important are jobs, finances. Females sometimes, again, because they just like the person, they don't consider whether the person is financially stable. So when you get married and you can't pay your bills and you can't do what you want to do in life, or what you used to do you can no longer do because one person is working, one person stays at home, and that's not what you're used to. You're used to having an influx of finances where you could do what you want to do, you could travel. That's another strain to the relationship. Education, whether you've gone to college, or this person is a dropout, or you have a doctorate and this person has a BS, and they're intellectually savvy and they're witty and they understand things very quickly, but you're kind of slow and sluggish and your mind's not just in the affluent space, right? again, strain. I've heard so many women call their husbands stupid or dumb just because, they're not with it, right? So education plays a great role in relationships. So there are so many reasons why we have to, when I say we, I'm not in that stage yet, but I do it. Obviously, one of the reasons why I'm single is because compatibility is very important. But what I hear a lot of people are doing are they're settling. Like, I would rather, like Paul says, stay and not be married, be by myself, make it to heaven the way God chooses for me by myself, than to marry to someone and find life extremely difficult and have that person pull me down and cause me to go to hell, right? So it's really important how you choose. So tell me your thoughts about divorce, whether you think it's right or wrong. Obviously, according to the Bible, once you read it, you will see what it says. But you're still allowed your opinion. Maybe you like what it says, maybe you don't. If you don't, which is your right, what do you think one should do to, you know, come to terms with it, perhaps? I think, obviously, the greatest choice is to choose wisely. You don't have to like divorce, so don't get divorced by choosing wisely. Okay, so tell me your thoughts. Bye.